Okay, so we are going to this bearing. So this is our first section view. So what we're going to do is draw the front view, which has all the details. So we're going to draw this circular part here. So I will start by drawing a circle. And this has a radius or a diameter. Let's see. Yeah, it tells us the diameter right here is 5.5. So D for diameter, 5.5. Let's turn unlock on. There we go. All right, so so that looks a little bit different, but so hard to see it at first, but there it is. And then let's draw this center circle so we can change the layer to center line. Let's draw another circle right here. This says a diameter of 4.24. So D 4.24. There we go. And then from there we can draw our circles, and we can use the polar array or just draw them. There's only 4, whatever's easiest. I'm going to change it back to object line. And this circle here has a diameter of 2.76. So you guys don't need help on this part, but I'm just showing you. Okay, let's try that again. Diameter of 2.76. And then this inner hole, let's see, does it tell us somewhere? Yeah, right here has a diameter of 0.1498 to 1.500. So that is specifically for when people are like manufacturers making these parts, that has to be the tolerance that this has to be. Can't be outside of this tolerance. So when you're drawing it though, let's just draw as 1.5, and then when we use the dimensions, then we type that in as is. So we're going to draw another circle with a diameter of 1.5. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and draw our circle here, our little holes. These little holes are 4, and let's see. I think that's supposed to say 0.5. Can't see it from here. Kind of small, but so we're going to do has a diameter of 0.5, and then we can do polar array. I'm going to do here. Start from the center and choose 4 of them. Okay, there we go. So that's all I need for my front view. Now I need my side view. I'm going to do a left side and a right side. One for my section view. I'll do the section view on the right, and then I'll do the side view, just a normal left side view. So there we go. I can draw it out from here, and I'm going to draw this to be, oops, so the width of this, look on here and it says it's 2.12 right there. 2.12, so I'm going to make it line up to there. 2.12, enter. Okay, let me make sure that worked, because it almost didn't look like it did. But yeah, okay, it worked. Okay, and then we'll do offset. In fact, we probably should explode this. Offset, so if we're looking at it from the side view, we're going to offset it on this side, 0.75. And then you can just draw this here. Enter, enter, draw it from this side. Okay. And then we can trim right there. All right, and then if you look at this, it has fillets and rounds, radius of 0.12. And so there's fillets and the round part around here. These are all filleted areas. So 0.12. So let's do that with our R for radius and then 0.12. And then we can just do this on all of these. Enter again to do it again. We don't have to keep putting in that radius because it's the same. I'm not going to do that one yet. Do that one because when you do this one right here, it takes that line away. And so what I can do is just select this line all the way through, extend it, and then I can do another fillet. Okay, again, it took it away. So I'll click on this point here, all the way to the edge there. All right, then we can put in our hidden lines. So this is just normal, nothing too fancy right now. So I'm going to choose a hidden line. Okay, we can't see this line. This goes all the way through. And then I can do another one. This one right here. I'm just going to do one side and then I can do the offset. So this one also. Here. Weird. All right. Now let's offset these. These holes are 0.5, so I can offset by 0.5 here, here, and here. Enter, enter. Now let's offset this hole is a diameter of 1.5. So let's offset at 1.5. There we go. And draw my center lines now. So change a layer to center line. And I'm going to do it right here because this is right in the center. In fact, I'm just going to do this one all the way across. And then I'll make sure extend this by 0.25. If you remember, center lines need to be shifted. 5. And I'll wait to do that one for a minute. Let's just do another one here. Now I need to find, I'm going to do an offset real quick to find the center here. Or actually, I'll just do it like this. There's the center. I know where that is. And then I can extend that again, 0.25 on both sides. Okay, now that looks really good. But this one doesn't look like a center line. So I'll go ahead and copy this one. And I'm going to choose from here. And I'll line it up with this center again. And snap it to there. Okay, there we go. Now I have to change this one so that it looks more like a center line. You know what? So if you have a hard time with this, so if we do LTS, let's see what happens. So right now it's 0.75. Let's do 1 and see what that does. Okay, didn't do anything. LTS. Let's do 1.25. Okay, that did it, but now these ones are off. So let's do it again and see if there's a sweet spot. Maybe there's not. 1.1, not quite. TS, so I'm just going to leave it 1. So this one I might have to just redraw. So I'm going to choose 0 line, change the property to red. The reason I'm choosing 0 is so it's still a thin line. You can do this is go over 0.25 and then go here, and that's 2.37. Another 0.25 is 0.25, 0.2, 0.237, 0.25 plus 0.37 is 0.5, 0.62, 2.62. There we go. That'll save me. Maybe it didn't save me any time, but okay. And then we can find the center of this, the midpoint, and I'm just going to make a circle of 0.25 and then another one of 0.0625. And that way I can just make a center, my own center line. Make those go away, or just trim that out and then delete those. And there I have my center line. So you can always draw it if you have to. Okay, so everything looks good. I got all my fillets in there the way that they need to be. Okay, now let's just mirror this whole thing. And let's mirror it across the center here. It says erase. No, I don't want to erase the object, so leave it there. Okay, now what we got to do is make this a section view. So I'm going to cut this down the middle and show these hatch marks. Okay. So if I cut down this down the middle, these lines right here are no longer hidden. Now these ones right here are, because there's this one right here, this hole right here. So I'll just change those. Oops. Change the layer to object. All right. This one right here. Is actually, I'm going to trim that first. That won't be, so I'm just going to take this off. I need to put another hidden line there, but because this is not hidden. So let's just draw another hidden line from the endpoint here to the endpoint there. Uh-oh. Change the properties, turn that back to bilayer block. There we go. Uh-oh. Bilayer, that's what I wanted it as. Okay. All right. So there we go. And now I want to put this hatch mark. So this is new thing that we're doing on this one. And we're going to change the line type to hatch. And then over in the draw panel, there's this hatch tool. I'm going to click on it. And it gives you a few different options. I'm going to zoom this out so we can see it. So let's choose hatch. Okay, this ANSI 131 or ANSI 31, that's good enough for what we're dealing with. So let's change this. Hold on. I'm gonna push escape. Okay, my hatch is still red. Let's change it to bilayer block. Okay, choose the hatch, and I'm gonna select all of the areas that's cut through. So this piece right here, if you look right here, this hatch area right here, so you won't see hatch where the holes are. So just where the material is cut out. That's basically what we're seeing there. All right, now, so this is pretty much done, but we have to say which side this is on. So now we're going to go to our layer, and I'm going to choose cutting plane. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to start maybe a quarter there, and I'm going to draw it and just draw it to the edge here and extend that a quarter inch to 5. All right, now I need to put, so I'm cutting this down and looking this way to see this guy right here. And if this was the cutting, the section plane here, then I would be looking this way. But here, for this one right here, this is the only one that's section, I'm going to be looking this way. So I got to draw those arrows. Now, in order to draw those arrows, I'm going to choose the dimension. And I'm just going to draw from here to here, for example. In fact, let me just do it from here to here. So there to there, and it doesn't really matter what it looks like here. And then I'm going to select this dimension and explode it. Because all I want, I'm going to get rid of that and that. I don't need that. And I don't need this. Get rid of that. And there I have, so I'm going to just take this and I'm going to rotate it. Rotate it from here. I'm just going to rotate it right there. And I can go ahead and just delete that one. Need that. Okay, now I want to move this. And don't forget that arrow there. And from this point, I'm going to move it to the end point there. And then I can copy all of this and put it down here as well. So all this is saying is showing where I'm cutting it and what direction I'm looking at to see this section view. You have to have that. So those of you that got ahead, I didn't show you that. So go ahead and do that on your assignments. And I think I gave you full credit. I'm going to have to change that if you don't fix it. And then all we have to do are the dimensions. And I'm going to leave the dimensions to you. I guess I can do them. But make sure, so this is the easiest section view I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you do more of them. But anyway, let's do, okay, so let's start with, I guess we can just start with the simple stuff. So from here to, I like to do it from this endpoint to this endpoint straight up. Okay, and then go 0.5. And then again, I could do it again on this and make it go out further, or I could just do it on this side. Either one. I'm going to start from here to here, wait for a minute, go up, and 0.5. There we go. That way these are all on the same level. And then, in fact, I wonder if we ought to extend these. so that they're on the same. That's probably okay. All right, so we have for my width, my depth here, we have 1, 2. So we got 1, 2 dimensions here. So that's good for that. Now we need to show all of my diameter. Just basically make it the same way as the drawing is. So we have that one. Let's don't go too far out. Don't want to extend it out here because then it kind of goes past these guys. Doesn't matter exactly where you put it. So we'll do there, enter. We can do this one here. This one down here. Just to kind of spread it out a little bit. Oops. Uh-oh. What happened? Guess I gotta start over on that. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's just do that again. 0.5. Choose the diameter. That one about here. Again, let's do this one down here. And this one over here. Didn't go where I wanted it to. So we can move this out a little bit. Something like that. We've got to change this one. So double click it. And I'm going to delete that. And then we're going to come up here. We're going to choose a symbol. We can do diameter or you could do percent %C. So if you do this a lot, might be faster just do percent %C, but we can do that. And if we look at let's here, this needs to be 1.498 to 1.500. So we're going to type that exact thing in there, 1.498, 1.498, yeah, dash 1.500, and actually add those zeros because that's the tolerance that it needs. And then we'll click outside here. There we go. And then don't forget the fillets or the rounds. So we'll do a radius. And we'll just do it right here. Stick it out here. I might put it out. I don't like to cross those. So let me do it somewhere else. Let's do it over here. Just to make it a little bit nicer. And this is, we'll just say fillets and rounds. Just type in exactly. So push over. So our cursor's outside there and do fillets. Let's make it all capitalized. Caps, fillets, and rounds. Space. Okay. And let's move this so that it's a little bit nicer. Okay, let's see, did I miss anything? Those, I didn't do the holes. Got to do those, and those ones are measured in diameter, so pick diameter again. Just do it right here. And then, of course, I got to change that to be 4 times. So 4x. There we go. And that is it. Now, so don't forget to save it in your title block. Escape there. Looks pretty good. It's not too tight, and if it is, you can change the scale. Now this is 0.6, so if I want to go a little bit smaller, I can do this 60%. There we go. That might be better. And then plot it. That's it.